Brother Demetrius Melton.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, how are you doing, Demetrius?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
I'm doing just great. It's so good to talk to you tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Demetrius, you want to tell me a little bit about yourself? Can you tell me how old you are and where you're from?
I'm 24 years old. I'm from Dothan, Alabama, but I live in Atlanta now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're now living in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, you please tell me a little bit about how you came to be involved with Reverend Glasgow.
I had been hearing about how good he was and the mistakes that he's made and how he's changed and overcame his problems and stuff in the past. And then I was in the courthouse and it was another preacher had pointed him out to me, and I guess that they had been talking about me on a personal level and stuff, and then he came up to me and said that he has heard about me and heard about the problems and things that I was going through, and me and him sort of just connected like that.
Well, what kind of problems were you actually going through? Do you mind sharing that?
Growing up, I was one of the best athletes that ever came through. A small school out of Ashford, and I had the opportunity to go play ball anywhere, football, but I chose to go down the wrong path, and after that, my life just started changing on me.
So you got in some trouble and you had to do some time.
No, ma'am. Like at the time, the judge and my lawyer and stuff was trying to they was trying to get me and stuff to do time, but the things that what God can do, and people that's in your background, people that are behind you and stuff in your corner, it's amazing what things can do.
Wow.
And the things of what God can do.
So tell me a little more about that.
As the time began to get closer to me to turn myself in, though, to go to prison, I came in bond with Pastor Glasgow.
Right.
And I began to talk with him and to communicate with him, and I know at the time that he probably thought that I was just like, cause I used to call him like every day. And like, it used to hurt me though, because I used to call him, I was like, man, I don't think this man can help me. But at the same time though, like, he made the believer out of me though, like he just came through for me.
Okay. So in other words, you're saying you ended up not having to do time.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh man, well that's phenomenal. That is phenomenal. Well, now how long ago did all this occur?
This occurred on October the 2nd, 2007.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
So you mean to tell me you were about to go down the road?
Yes, ma'am.
And Pastor Glasgow was able to help you and keep you from having to go down there and do that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. So I'm sure you owe him a debt of gratitude then, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
And so as I understand it, now you are actually working with T.O.P.S?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so what do you do? What part do you play in the organization? In the ministry, I should say.
My job is to speak to troubled youth that are going on the wrong direction and the wrong path, because anything can happen in the split of a second. You know, you can be doing good for 2 hours, and then I say that you can be doing good for 23 hours, and the last hour you can just
make one mistake.
You can just make the wrong mistake.
Well, how do the youth? How do they respond to you? Do they respond good to you?
It just came in effect as of yesterday, so we're beginning to plan and put things together.
Okay. That is wonderful. Well, I am just so glad to hear. I'm so glad that one thing I'm glad of is that Pastor Glasgow was able to help you. That's
yes,
number one. And the second thing that I'm glad about is that now you are dedicating your life to helping somebody else.
Yes,
and, you know, Pastor Glasgow and I talked about that recently, you know, in terms of helping people become productive citizens. And, you know, that really had so much meaning for me because I'd never thought about that. So I just really think that is wonderful, Demetrius. So now you are actually working in the Atlanta, Georgia area?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And one of the things I want to say, Ms. Frankston, when he got the charge, it was October 2007.
Right.
And we just went to court about it. He went to court about it since then, and they kept putting it off, and then they sentenced him. And he'll tell you himself, his sentence was 15 years with he was going to do 3 years 18 months in, and then followed by 3 years probation, but he had a 15-year sentence.
Wow.
He came on Sunday, January the 3rd, to turn himself in.
Wow.
And the Spirit of the Lord told me no. I said, no, brother, I just don't see you turning yourself in now. We're going to the judge and ask him for you to be in T.O.P.S program, and we're going to see can we turn this around. He had a lawyer, paid lawyer, not a state-appointed lawyer. He had a paid lawyer, and the lawyer couldn't get it turned around, but he just had faith in me, and I told him I need your faith to get together with my faith, and we're going to do this. And we went down there, got with his dad, his mom.